Hello. Um, Welcome to our SAS climb with one Zach Armstrong and me, Hyper. Uh, I guess we're going to go into a bit of a story time here uh, about typical Zach. So Bearded Archer and I were brothers. Uh, we used to live next door to Zach, and we would play board games a couple times a month, maybe once a week. Um, it was a great time there. But anyways, we would go to his house, and every single time we would get there, or 90% of the time we would get there, he would be inhaling his dinner right before we walked in. So every single time he would be eating. Typical Zach.
So, yeah, I know this is fantastic audio video content. I was actually planning on eating dinner much later, but my amazing spouse Megan made dinner, and when I went out to go get my glass of water for this, she said, perfect timing. Dinner's ready. And I said, I'm on in 3 because I'm a theater kid. So, of course, I think of it, even with streaming. I'm on in 3. But she was like, great, then you have 3 minutes to eat. And she handed me the bowl. I was like, okay, well, Hyper's used to this because we spent a blessed couple years
You don't yet,
living next
not
to
even
each
a
other
Patreon for that.
when they would come over and I would still be eating my dinner. I'm like, yeah, come over at 7. At 7:05, I'm still eating. Yeah. Procrastination eating. Yeah, Call of Discovery ASMR. Me chewing noodles. It's not Patreon exclusive because we would end up with no patrons at the end of that. They would not want to hear that. They would not
If
want to hear
all you do is if the only bonus for Patreon is Zach eating,
that.
you
Oh,
might
God.
get a few.
What if I have a Patreon that's just me eating food on a microphone? $10 a month. $5 a month. That'd be ridiculous. I'd be scared to actually make money that way. I would have to literally block myself from reading any of the discourse around it. Like, oh, did you hear the latest drop? It's wide rice noodles.
I heard he was eating popcorn.
Arguments about how to rate the slurpiness of the audio. Oh no! Well, there's a few noodles left, so we may maybe I need to get a channel points redemption level for food ASMR.
Yeah.
There should be channel points redemption for we got a new kitten, Lucas. There should be channel points redemption for a Lucas appearance up on.
He's cute.
He's about 12 weeks old. And now I'm going to be burping a lot for the next half hour. So I might not dodge my microphone every time. I'm warning you now, chat. I'm warning you now.
Yep. Another non-Patreon exclusive.
But we're here to play KeyForge, not listen to me masticate, which is a word for chewing. Erda Hail the Curious. I'm piloting Erda Hail the Curious Dark Tidings deck. I've got at least one more game with it. I'm 3-1 with Erda Hail the Curious.
And it's
not a lot of Amber Control, just 3 cards, but Submersive Principle can do work. 2 ways to take the tide. It's just a giant creature deck, and the creatures don't do a whole lot.
But it was doing pretty well against my decks.
Yeah.
And I have Quipskin, the Warlock of Curses, one of my earliest AOA decks. It's this Shadows Untamed. Couple interesting things: double Glimmer and Untamed Dusk Witch, another Mimicry. For all of those familiar with the last few games we've played. A fun Witch of the Wild. Bronze Key Imp. Double Not Finished With Yous to get back those Glimmers and Dusk Witches. And the double Dust Imps in there. So yeah, some Can be some interesting stuff. A key charge, just as a
Hmm.
heads up.
Yeah, gotta watch out for that, especially with double glimmer. If you've got enough creatures to reap out, you could always glimmer.
Right. And a life web
Key
for
charge.
the
Also, which of the wilds with double glimmer, which of the wild sticks, you can glimmer on a shadows or disc turn, which is cool.
it's always fun.
Yeah, no board wipes to watch out for. Plenty of expected amber. Not a lot of amber control, but it's spread out. Bronze Key, Tentacles. Bronze Key's not really amber control.
Yeah.
Nerve Blade, CNC Gang. So a lot of tiny stuff. Life Web's the biggest one.
And just as a reminder, Bronze Camp is the first key.
Right.
And yeah. And a Shadow of Dis would be.
Yeah, Shadow of
Is
Disc could
also
be
in
good.
there.
Yep. My deck has really been thriving on. So Youngest Bear has been good, and battle line ordering to set up a Youngest Bear has been important. Teresa has been good, just honestly sticking it on almost anything to just get extra reaps. But a Teresa on a Youngest Bear is really great because if
That did a lot of work.
Yeah. Then I've got some fortunate Dirksguard turns, but that hasn't been hugely impactful. Maybe one big turn out of 4 games.
So. And you have like double diplomatic gungs in there. Valmart for the key cost increase.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of things in there that in fighting I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for.
Yep. So mostly just trying to throw a whole bunch of creatures onto the board and use the handful of tricks they have. All right, ready?
I am.
Let's do this. Gonna mulligan that.
I will too. All right. Let's start off with Untamed Dusk Witch.
Oh. Okay. Well. We're also going to go Untamed, and we're just going to spend get us a little bit of time. With a beach day.
All right, let's.
And if I'm lucky, you didn't have much Untamed in your hand, and that was just a turn 1 play to go into another house.
I'm gonna go back into Untamed. I'm gonna. Nope, not discard yet. Let's play this Bomber Bird. Discard a Glimmer. So double alphas isn't too great in the same hand, but.
Glad to see a Glimmer gone already. Recursion of a key piece could be huge. I still am going to have trouble removing that dang thing. But we're going to go Star Alliance because we can at least get some moves happening here.
All right.
We're going to Diplomat a Gung over there and draw. Okay. We're going to Star Alliance the Floomp.
Cool.
Now I can't get 2 fights in on that Dusk Witch. But I could even just fight the Bumblebird to get me 2 power on the Floomp to get some board control. I think that's actually more important than a single amber. It's just guarantee myself some power here. Then we're gonna go. We're gonna go Dirksgar, Valmart.
All right. Let's go Shadows. I'm gonna play a Bad Penny. So that's 1 use. I will fight Bad Penny in the Diplomatic Gung. That's 2. Play Bad Penny. I'm gonna roll F6 Bad Penny. So that's 4 uses. Uh, 5 uses. Fight Valmart. That's going to be all the uses of Bad Penny. Sadly. Play Lemondra. And then Throwing Stars for 1, 2, 3. It would have been great if I could Throwing Stars my own Bad Penny, but I already used the
You didn't want to
rule
reap with
6.
the Lemindra?
Oh, I should have. I forgot he was ready.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
That was a hilariously non-traditional Duskwitch turn. Like, it was still effective.
It got some
but
board
it was
clear.
just very non-traditional. Yeah. Excuse me. All right. Let's go Untamed. We're going to Bumbly Bird.
Ooh. Nice.
Ritual of Life. Youngest Bear. Yeah, I still have no ways. Oh, no, I actually could have. Shoot. That's okay. We're going to reap there. Shoot. I had a Duskwitch out that I missed.
Ooh.
There was still good hand cycling, but...
Alright, yeah, let's go into this here. I'm gonna play a Gub. Let's discard the Misery Exploits. I'll reap with my Gub since I forgot to reap with my Lemindra last turn. Not finished with you to get the Glimmer back. And not the Bomber Bird. Not finished with you to go up to 6. So, yeah, check at 6.
Cool. Let's see here. Let's go. Ooh, okay. I think I can actually get... Yeah, okay. We're going to go Star Alliance. I didn't fully bake this in my head, but I think it works.
Alright.
We're going to fight the Duskwitch to break that. We're going to... play Teresa onto Dirkscar to gain 1. We're going to... Yeah, play Unity or Discord. Return creatures to hand. So Dirkscar.
Pretty good.
Play Dirkscar. Ooh, now who gets... Oh, do I get the Amber from Dirkscar? Or do I put Teresa on Flume?
I will say this. Teresa only applies if its neighbors belong to that house.
Oh, shoot, you're right, you're right.
I will let you know that now.
Right, no, thank you. I was about to make a real dumb play there. Read the cards. Read the cards.
Yeah.
And that's all reaping. I could get to check.
You could.
Or kill the Duskwitch. I think we kill the Duskwitch because... Gub.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Yeah, that was very kind. I was about to face plant real hard there.
If I was in a tournament, I would never have done that.
No, of course. Yep.
But being casual, and we're trying to see how the deck's best play, I guess. Yeah, I would have. Yeah. All right, let's go in the shadows. Let's go in the hideaway hole. Hidden stash this card, and I'll play a Gamgee, and that would be my turn.
All right. Interesting. We are going to go Star Alliance. Gonna drop a gung. Choose a house, Star Alliance. We are going to make Bumblebird Star Alliance.
All right.
Bumblebird, I want to get rid of that gub before it can actually protect anything helpful.
Oof.
Youngest bear is going to reap, allowing me to reap with the flumph. We're going to go ahead and go to 7 here.
All right. Okay. Yeah, let's keep up with shadows then. No, I will not. I'm gonna, before I do anything else, play a sucker punch.
Yep.
Get rid of that youngest bear. Yancey gang on the right. Reap with a Gamgee that is not going to stop you off the key. And Hideaway Hole would be great right now. But I don't think it's... No, not yet. Alright.
I will forge. I'm gonna go Logos. I think we do this. I'm gonna take the tide.
Cool.
Gonna submersive.
No.
Then Infomorph. Theory Conjecture to play the top card.
Think twice.
What happened? Oh, think twice. Fun. Okay. Wow, I have to think.
Yeah, now you have to think twice.
Yeah, right. I have to think twice. I'm going to purge this. So, submersive would be fun, although that's rounding down the loss.
Yeah, I said I would only lose 1.
You'd only lose 1. Unity or Discord. Use a friendly non-Star Alliance creature. I could use Flumph. Or turn creatures to hand. No, okay. And then Beach Day. Oh, I could bounce something and gain 1. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
actually.
I was
so I think I Beach Day here because I can.
Yeah.
I can bounce the Yancey
gang.
And then
that's what I was thinking of actually.
Yeah, last one always damage Steel Heart with a bajillion plus counters because I hit think twice on what was basically a wild wormhole.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So that got archived.
Oh, you're right, Fudge. That's fantastic. I haven't even thought of that.
Yeah. That would like not help me at all if I went shadows.
Staring down the battle line.
All right, this is gonna be a not. It's not terrible, but it could be better. Let's go Untamed. Let's play a Full Moon. Let's play a Grasping Vines and return Ritual of Life to your hand. Let's do a life web. Let's do a persistence hunting for Star Alliance. And that will be my turn.
Okay. Let's see here. What have we got in deck? Okay, yeah, we're gonna go. It stinks, but we're still gonna go Star Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna play a Shield You Later, gain an Amber.
All right.
Drop an Agent Septia.
I don't know if I said it, but check.
Yeah. No, I caught that. Thank you. I have both of my Operative Espions in my hand.
Ooh.
But it turns on Gamgee Steel.
Yeah, and you won't be able to use anything with it at the moment.
Yeah. That turns on Gamgee Steel if you use it, if you take the tide.
Yeah.
And then I would just have to make good use of it if I took the tide back. Actually, I am going to play them out.
All right.
Because I have Ambervac left, which would let me raise the tide on a Star Alliance turn. And unless you completely destroy my board, I have a couple of house cheats and
you have a crazy Star Alliance board. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna easily take you off that board, so I'm gonna go Shadows. Anyways, I'll pick up my archives. Let's Sucker Punch that Agung. Play a Skeleton Key. Play a Yancey Gang. Play a Reap with Gamgee, the Steel one. And then Throwing Stars on 2. None of those are great targets. 1. I'll just do one of each house. Yeah, and leave Hideaway Hole there.
All right, we gotta recover. I could go, well, let's see here. I could go Logos. I've got some things out on the board. But on the board, I can actually push pretty hard on the board here.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm not house cheating, I just don't draw anything. Yeah, let's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shoot, no, Skeleton Key and Gamgee keep me off. Alright, I'm gonna go Star Alliance. Septia is gonna reap. We're gonna do that.
Ooh, not the gang.
Yep. Oh no, Septia should have. Shoot, no, well, no, the math is the same either way, I think. We are gonna do this.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get me to check, but I really needed to turn off your multiple points of amber control there.
All right. I have a question that is probably going to come into play. So I got Shadow of Dis, which blanks enemy creatures text boxes until your next turn.
Yeah.
How will that play with creatures that can be played as upgrades?
If I'm playing it as an upgrade, it's just an upgrade.
Because I can't remember if alpha is blanked or not.
Oh, that's a different question, right?
Yeah, but alpha says it can be played out of your hand, so like you can't blank alpha with that, so it has to be played first, correct?
I think so, but it's like it's Omega that gets blanked.
Yeah, it's good because it's in play. So alpha's not blank, so I think because it's still in your hand, it can still be played as an upgrade.
Right.
Uh,
As an upgrade, is there an upgrade with Alpha?
no, your robots that can be played as upgrades.
Right.
Um,
But they don't have Alpha.
no, they do not have alpha, but because you can only play it from your hand as an upgrade, it would have to be played from your. I'm just saying if an alpha would be blanked from your hand, then a creature could not be played as an upgrade. But because an alpha is not blanked, it can
You're
be
going
played
to the
as an
precedent.
upgrade.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't have any upgrade creatures with
Yeah.
Alpha.
No, it's because it's a similar phase that they get played as an upgrade.
Gotcha.
So I've played out Tempticus, Double Dust Imp, Bronze Camp, and a Shadow of Dis.
All right.
Do I play? Do I? No, I don't think I do a hideaway hole here. All right, yeah, let's end that.
Woof.
Because I was thinking of Embervac. If it was played as a creature, it would not raise its tide.
Right.
On this turn, but if it was played as an upgrade, I think it would be played. It would raise the tide.
Embervac is not a creature.
Embervac is an upgrade.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'll go Logos because I need to dig for answers. You playing 4 creatures was pretty good.
Oof.
And then, oh man.
Yeah, I was thinking it was one of those creatures that it was a robot that could be played as a creature or upgrade. That's my that's a brain fur on my end.
We're just gonna reap out here and hope we draw an answer because no matter what I kill, you can threaten. Like I can't stop you from threatening. So I think I have to threaten and then hope I draw an answer.
I think I need to go into this here. I will not pick up my... Yeah. Let's play a gub on the right in case I ever get that anti-gang unstunned. Shoot. I do not want to play Scullion yet.
I'll just give a small spoiler alert. You win.
Okay. Yeah, I was definitely
so
gonna get up to
matter.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ember or +6.
Yeah,
or
like
+5.
you can just target a Dust Imp, and you're gonna.
Yeah.
I'll tie it up. Yeah, I did not draw any of my remaining Amber control.
All right.
Yeah, I think there was a turn or two where I think were crucial to you winning the game, which was when you were doing early game removal and reducing my delta as much as possible, like just taking out creatures of each house. Yeah. Rip DT. Sorry. I failed you, Dark Tidings.
GG.
Yes, GG.
Yeah, that one Duskwitch turn with the bad penny, I think.
That was really good.
Yeah, I think that was a game changer there.
Yep. Because I don't. I'm just gonna double check. I can. Oh, I could draw a card with Brain Eater, but I really don't think
Oh, yeah, now you
because
can
I couldn't
fight.
then house cheat. So, but yeah, I would just Brain Eater. Can Brain Eater even kill anything? It can kill Tentacus. Yeah, nothing. Nothing
Alright.
important. We'll finish it out. We'll just, I think, oh, how close can we get here, though? All right, we can get to 5 amber, so respectable. Respectable.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yep, GG.
GG.
GG, that is it. That is it for Hail the Curious.
And that is Gripskin's first win out of who knows how many. Probably 1 or 2. Let's see what is next. The Warlord of Toxward. That's a great name.
Go over to that.
Ooh, Age of Ascension.
Yeah, Age of Ascension 53 SAS. My only Amber control, I've got 2 Tentacus, and a Mars Needs Amber, and a Schuler. So playing towards that Mars Needs Amber, damage enemies, non-Mars creatures is going to be good. They're going to be important.
I got a game up, so whenever you're ready with
excellent
that deck.
Triple Tremor coming your way. So
yeah,
that should be fun. We got some interesting stuff in here. I've only got 7 pips and I've got 21 creatures, and 20 creature control. So
20 creature control.
Yep.
Ooh, oh man. Okay, we'll see how this does. Mars Needs Ember. Cool. I don't
we'll
have
see if that creature control really acts as Amber control in the SAS range, right?
Right.
Also, several of you broke your non-disclosure agreement when you revealed your secret knowledge that I am voicing Blorb in the live action / also animated KeyForge movie.
You didn't hear it from me.
How did you know? How did you know?
Oh man.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that hand.
This is a keep. Gonna open with Brobnar, drop a gauntlet.
Oof. Okay, let's go Untamed and drop a Duskwitch.
Oof. Dang it. I'm not prepared for that. Oh, wait, I am. Pew!
1 Carpet Flock.
Carpet Flexing, baby! I haven't got an Amber for my effort.
Wow.
That was, yeah. Because I have a Brobnar creature in hand, and I was like, do I play the creature or do I play Gauntlet?
Yeah.
And I accidentally made the smartest play by keeping the same amount of value by choosing Gauntlet, but also leaving my
Your
Carpet
board
Box.
clear.
Yeah.
So Bad Penny.
That's right, Fudge. Flocks them all.
Stars. Flocks them all. Let's Nerve Bust it, take that Ember, and then discard a Bad Penny.
Rude.
Gotta Flocks them all.
What do I do here? I'm going to go Brobnar, Calfine, and Reap Out.
All right. I'm going to go Shadows then. Play a Skeleton Key and a Hidden Stash to archive that card.
We're gonna go Brobnar, Reap. I'll go ahead and play the Bramo, even though I can't do anything with it. I'm gonna discard this Coward's End.
Ooh. He's got to flock some all Orion's new intro music.
Gotta flock some all. Gotta flock some all.
Sure. Let's go back in the disc and take him out.
I wanna flock some all, like no one ever floxed. To flox them is my real test. Flox them is my cause.
Going in the disc. Dust Imp, Scullion. Let's play a Gub, Spider, and I'm gonna not finish with you, Duskwitch and Dust Imp.
I will travel across the land, laying waste far and wide. Bump, bump, bump. Everyone to understand that glory belongs to Mars. Very much the opposite vibe of the very uplifting, positive Pokemon theme song.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a Scullion. So busy singing, I didn't really pay attention to that. Dust Imp.
Scullion to Dust Imp.
Then
not
Dust
finished with you.
Nice place.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, you know what's great about Calfine?
Is
that's a before fight ability.
Yeah.
So Brobnar, Blood Money, Spider, Calfine into Gub, but I only take 1 damage. Thank you very much.
Oh, shoot, because Gub lost flank.
Yeah, because that's before fight.
Yeah.
No, you know what I should do is I should record a cover of the Pokemon theme song with Floxamal and then send that to Orion as intro music. I mean, it's really too long for intro music, but like maybe just like a hook or something.
Yeah.
All right. Do I worry about the Scullion? I think I reap here because I can still fight. I just don't know if it's worth it to like
get rid of him or
slam into you on my terms because I can't remove it, so you could just kill the other one. So I actually think I don't fight into it there because if I fight one, you can just kill the other. And so I'm going to leave. I'm leaving control in your hands, but like the onus is on you to affect the delta. Instead of me. So yeah, I got to figure out Fudge. I got to figure out what part would work there. Just maybe the Pokemon gotta catch a ball. That part.
Yeah, that part's good.
Gotta flox them all.
Gotta flox them all.
You flox me and I'll flox you. Flox them all.
All right, just gonna play a few creatures here, or one creature here. Capture on the Scullion with Skeleton and put an extra damage on Calfine.
Yep. All right, let's go. We're gonna go Mars.
That's gonna be stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Gotta flox them all.
Gonna drop that. Gonna drop that. Gonna put Collector Worm out there. I actually think Stim Rager is a little more valuable. And that's turn. No Amber, but...
Right. Oh, cool. Let's go into Untamed then. So that was 3 creatures. So I'll play a Life Web.
Oh, gosh darn it. I forgot about that. Shoot. Play it into that.
Let's...
That's right, Fudge.
I think I just mimicry your Coward's End. Get some use out of it. But I lose Yancey Gang and Scullion, which are really nice. Yeah, let's get rid of... Yeah, let's do Coward's End.
I don't like that.
And then discard a Full Moon.
I don't like that one bit. I really wanted you to have creatures out in this matchup.
And I don't... Yeah. I'm just glad I didn't put damage on your other creatures. Well, you can keep Gauntlet of Commanding the Reap twice.
Yeah, that's right. I hate so true. Our ladies will pull us through. Bow to me and I'll save you. Flux them all. Gotta flux them all. Gotta flux them all.
Let's go.
I've got to copy paste that into a Google Doc, Ketzer. Or if you wanna just like shoot that to me on Discord or something, if that happens, and Orion is into the ridiculousness enough,
Punch, fish, and die.
then I'll make sure you're credited on the. Oh, you jerk! Bronze Key Imp.
And a
I
shadow.
don't low stats stuff like this, where stuff like Bronze Key Imp is like.
It's actually good, but
The
I
bane
don't
of
think
my
I'll be able to
existence.
get anything out of it for a few turns. Depends on what you do. Unless you
Right.
can't kill it, which
Frick on a stick. Best meme since Punch a Fish and Die. Oh yes.
you know it.
Punch a Fish and Die. Hyper owns that shirt.
I do.
Mortivus has the mug.
I thought about getting the mug as well.
Okay, I got decisions to make here. I got a show to play. I got a sports team to manage.
You've just been doing... You've just been calling Grottnar a lot. So
Yeah, we're gonna go
what's your
dis.
dis?
I don't get the value out of this misery exploit. I think. Wait.
Shadow.
Oh,
of
you
Dis.
Shadow of Dist. Shoot.
I did.
I'm sure you said it. I just missed that, which actually allows me to play my Scullion, which actually changes my
Yeah.
math.
Yeah.
Because okay.
Oh, you put out Tentacus.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Okay, I am discarding my unlocked gateway,
All right.
which would have been a way to deal with the Bronze Key Imp, but I would really like to keep my board and then kill the Bronze Key Imp.
Right. And if I use a skeleton key, I'm just giving you a... Actually... Yeah, I'm just giving you a free ember and not just capturing one.
Yeah, that was the other
Yeah.
thing, was the Tentacus. I really like the Tentacus to turn off Skeleton
Yeah.
Key. But it's at the cost of my key forging tempo. Like, I'm now a turn behind on getting things forged.
Alright, let's go Shadows. I'm gonna Sucker Punch Calfine. Not
I swear I
getting-
play competitively when I'm not doing KeyForge versions of the Pokemon theme song. Really?
I will not use skeleton key. All right.
Yep. Stay strong, Calfine. Stay strong. All right, we go. Yeah, we go Brobnar here.
Mm-hmm.
We Tremor. We Reap. We fight here to remove that. We drop a Bingo de la Bang Bang.
Oof. All right. Do I want to play creatures at all though now?
That Bingo Bang Bang art, just some of my absolute favorite. Like,
Ooh,
it appears to be riding, or the goblin appears to be like riding an explosion or a launch, like maybe the launch of all these exploding grenades and things. It's one of my favorite playmats that I actually won in a store championship. Quite proud of that.
That's it. And his name is just a lot of fun. Bingo Bang
Yes,
Bang.
Bingo Bang Bang.
I know what I'm gonna do now. So let's go Untamed. Let's Glimmer.
Mimicry. Yep.
Yeah. Mimicry.
Yep.
Discard.
I want to see more goblins in Winds of Exchange.
Grasping Vines for Gauntlet of Command.
Gross.
And then I will unlock Gateway.
Ah. I get to forge.
And check at 6.
So do you.
I felt clearing your board was worth it to let you forge a key.
Yeah. I think we just go Brobnar, Gauntlet. I'll drop in Little Rapskull.
Alright. Let's go out Forge. Let's go Untamed.
Oh yeah, I got a handful of playmats off of that playmat sale fudge.
Yeah. Witch of the Wilds, Dusk Witch.
Which one is the UG playmat fudge? Oh, Unlocked Gateway. Oh, I don't think I picked that one up. No, I didn't pick that one up. Otherwise, I would. Ah, Double Witch!
Double Witches!
Dang it. Well, this is...
I wish I had excuses to buy playmats.
Right.
Like a store
Ultra
event.
Gravitron.
Oh.
I did not. I also didn't pick up Ultra Gravitron. At first, I was picking up like 2 of all of them, and then I was like, I don't need that many.
Yeah.
I still have a lot.
Yeah, having those would be great right now, though. Or having a store event at all.
All right, this is going to be a little sad. We're going to go Mars, Tixel Beambuckler to shoot the Dusk Witch.
Yeah.
I just need to go ahead and play this. It's been chaining my hand for too long.
Mars needs Ember.
Yeah. You just haven't had much of a board.
I have like maybe 3 or 4 creatures that are more than 2 power.
Yep. I skipped playing it like once, but it's chained my hand ever since.
All right. Let's go into this. Tentacus, double Dust Imp. And with Witch of the Wilds, I'll play Persistence Hunting on... Let's do Mars. Alright.
I do not like this Dust Imp setup here. We're going to banish a Dust Imp.
Oof.
We're going to Gongoozle your Witch of the Wilds.
My misery exploits.
Yeah. We're going to double gub.
Double gub. Nice.
And your Tentacus is out. No combat pheromones targets anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the deck books. Yeah. Oh, they still have them in stock. Oh yeah, Dino, but at $1.50, like, one, that's an absolute steal for the amazing quality that these are from GameGenic. Yeah. Oh, get a handful. I have probably 20 or 30 because one, they're dirt cheap. Like I hardly spent any actual money just stocking up on them. Also, who knows if GameGenic would ever go back to making them? I mean, I'm sure they've got the blueprints or whatever, so they could have when and if KeyForge is successful again, economically enough for them to choose to make it, right? But
right.
anyways,
Let's go into this. I'm gonna play a gub, play a dust imp on the right of that to protect the witch. I'm gonna have to fight here. So Tentacus is gonna get the beam buckler. Dust imp's gonna fight the gub. Now I'll play a Rusknar on the right. So it's not an easy kill of the gub with either Bingle Bang Bangs or Calfines if you happen to have them. I think you only have one of each, but still.
Oh, this will be fun. We're gonna go. We're gonna go Brobnar. Pound right there.
Oh no.
Wonderful value.
Very good.
Wonderful value. So I'm going to definitely. Oh no, I can't read with Little Rapskull because it's Little Rapskull.
It's gonna the step. No.
Well, I mean, what did you just? You just went. You played 1, 2.
And I just shuffled my deck.
Okay, so you played 2 cards from. You played 3 cards from hand. 2 of them were dis. So you drew 3.
Yeah.
If I kill Dust Imp.
Gub will die, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, no, you know what I do here? Because you can kill that dust. Well, I just don't know if you can kill that Dust Imp. That's the issue.
That was a great pound, by the way.
Yeah, that was really helpful. I think what we're going to do is we're going to gauntlet this gub into that Rustnar. What I also don't want you doing is you reaping with that Dust Imp and then it blowing up. Shoot, you have Key Charge. And it's definitely in hand. All right, so that's turn. Yeah, right. Yeah, Martani. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Let's go Shadows.
During an early game, I often, well, not often, but during the early game, I might kill the Dust Imp just so it's not getting extra value out of like the reaping. But here, I think we're too close.
So Mindra, Yancy Gang, and I'm gonna Skeleton Key on the Dust Imp.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go Dis. Yeah. Thank you for playing Lemindra.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I can do that. And then Tentacus, Schuler.
Oh no. And I went up to 4, didn't I?
Yep. And I need to turn that off. Oh.
Oof.
Crawling.
That's a board.
Kate Bush is now my soundtrack.
Crawling up that hill.
You're running up that hill.
I could change. Yeah. Going in the Untamed, I'm gonna Glimmer Witch of the Wilds.
Ooh.
Full Moon Witch of the Wilds on the right. Persistence hunting for Dis.
Is this it? Is this the killing stroke?
Discard a Glimmer, so I can't play it.
Does he have pips?
And you have a Tentacus out. Shoot.
That's Omni on Hideaway Hole, yeah?
It's Omni. But Tentacus, is it worth it just to try to get the Way of the Witch to survive?
Oh, right, yeah.
So
yeah, that's a tough call because it keeps if Witch of the Wild survives, it keeps that key charge as a threat in literally every turn.
I don't think I can. Yeah, that's gonna be it.
All right.
You can forge.
Forge. Okay. So you did not get to check, which is great.
I'm at 5.
Yeah. This isn't. Oh, woof. Okay. Because you're not at check right now,
No.
but you're kind of on check. Because you have 2 untamed cards and a key charge in hand. I assume, yeah, it's not discarded.
Yeah.
And you have Dust Imp. Okay, so I can't go Mars or else I lose. I do have to go Brobnar.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go ahead and Tremor here.
All right.
Gauntlet there.
Yeah.
Now because I have a key and it won't just hit your Dust Imps, I can play my Bilgam Avalanche. And I have 2 cards left in my draw pile. Okay.
Yeah, that you still could have done it if I did Hideaway Hole. You could have fought with a little Rapskull there and then Gauntlet of Command. So like it wasn't worth it giving you a number that I potentially couldn't use. So let's go Shadows.
Oh, and I should have fought off Glimmer. I don't know what I was thinking.
Let's go Shadows. I'm going to... I can't do anything with Tentacus. That's okay.
No, I didn't. I did need to fight off Glimmer. I've set up a ping, ping, ping. Throwing stars.
Sucker Punch is specifically enemy creatures, so I'm going to hit...
Plenty of choices.
Little Rapskull.
Yep.
Kills off the Gub. I'm going to Nerve Blast Dust Imp. And then Throwing Stars, Glimmer, Schuler, and...
Yep.
Nothing else.
That, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
That is
check at
game.
11.
I got a giant Mars board, but too little Too late. Look at all that. Look at all that Mars.
Look at all
board.
them Mars.
So that is a loss for the Warlord of Toxward. That matchup was very wacky for me because I kept waiting to dominate the board and you never really did. Oh yeah, you've got a tiny little board.
I have a small board. Yeah.
Yeah, and just lots of tricks.
Yeah.
So it's not hard for me to just always have options for your witches and stuff. Oh, sorry, you're right. I did mark it as a win. That's a loss.
Yeah, I always have ways of reoccurring or something.
Now I marked the wrong Vic.
And Mimicry is, I think, one of the better cards because it allows me to, like, unlock Gateway or something. Alright, you will go first.
Yeah, that Mimicry is great in this matchup.
Let's mulligan that.
I'm going to mulligan. All right, let's go. Let's go Mars. I'll drop a Shockworm.
All right. Let's go Untamed. I'm going to Persistence Hunting for Mars.
And
then Witch of the Wilds.
We'll go Banish, Misery, Exploit.
Is it worth it to go back in the Untamed right now? I think it is. Even though I'm gonna Witch of the Wilds, I'm gonna Mimicry.
Yep.
Even though you do have a Carpet Flotsam, I don't know if you would have it right now, so I'm gonna try to safe it.
Gonna go Brobnar.
Nope. Yeah.
If I Coward's End here, I mean, I'll at least do this. It's kind of silly. If I Coward's End here, I'm sacrificing 3 cards. Sacrificing 3 cards for guaranteed getting rid of Witch of the Wilds. But if I don't, I'm betting on maybe... Basically, I don't want you to get like 3 cards worth of value out of it.
Right.
So do I think I can kill it in 3 turns? 3 non-untamed turns. Okay, so actually I'm going to discard this.
Ooh.
We'll see what we can do.
Okay. Let's go into this. I'm going to Gub on the left. Dust Imp on the left. I'm going to Scullion on the left to get rid of that Dust Imp.
Yeah.
Not finished with you for the Dust Imp. Sure, get rid of my other not finished with you for the go up to 6. And no Untamed cards.
Right. Yep. Interesting. No Untamed cards.
Yeah.
All right, time to flood the board with the Martian army.
Mm-hmm.
How do we want to do this here? It's a pretty direct Gub counter.
Right. Yeah. Shockworm. Yeah, you're getting all of your Mars creatures.
Yeah, big old Mars board.
Ooh, and Mindworm. Okay. Let's go. Let's forge a key.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Forge them keys.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go shadows. I'm gonna sucker punch the mind worm. Sure.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
I have throwing stars out, but I would
Oh,
not have been able to archive sucker punch
right.
later, or like at this point if I saved it. I'm gonna full moon, Yancey gang on the left. I had a few other things I thought about doing. And then throwing stars. You got rid of Coward's End. So let's put a damage on Squadron that can just get eaten away. Or that can be healed.
Yeah, we're gonna go Brobnar.
Hmm.
Drop in that. Do that.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I should have put it not on the flank. But you could still gauntlet command it.
Yeah.
So.
And then we're just gonna gauntlet Bramo into Yancey gang. Because I
Yeah.
don't really need a Brobnar board right now with all my Mars people.
All right.
Doing some control, but I really need to not lose this Mars board.
I need to get rid of the Mars board, so I'm gonna go this.
You already mimic read, which is
Yeah, that's a
great.
big thing.
That's like hope for the future.
Tentacus, Bronze Key Amp. And I'm gonna fight off Stem Rager.
Gross. Yeah, Mars, Proliferator, Collector Worm, Sky Booster. Beam Buckler, Shockworm.
Alright, let's go in the Untamed. I will not pick that up. Hey. Yeah, I hate that. I'm gonna have to do this. Let's Glimmer for the Mimicry.
No!
No!
No, do it!
Mimicry. I really hate that I'm gonna have to do this. Coward's End.
No! Please. Please.
You have a nice Mars board.
Too powerful. Hyper knows
nice.
no fear, except for the Collector Worm.
Bumblebird. Discard Bumblebird. Resknar. It was a nice Mars board, I would have to say. What Mars cards do you want to see come back? I think I want to see some of the Coda Mars cards come back, like the one that reaps. You can ready a Mars card or a creature. I think it would be. It's already pretty good in that set, but I think it'd be great.
Oh, John Smith.
John Smith, yeah.
John Smith.
Yeah, I think I would like to see him come back.
Oh, I'm a check.
All right, cool. Sweet, let's go Shadows and pick them out archives.
Definitely Chuff Ape Fudginator.
Chuff Ape.
I really like Chuff Ape.
I like Key Abduction. It didn't always go off, which I think it's good for it to come back.
Yeah, it was a just interesting enough key cheat.
Right. Let's Sucker Punch the Gub. Let's play a Hideaway Hole. discard this bad penny, GMG, hidden stash. Done with all my cards.
All right, let's see here. Brobnar. Blood money on Gamgee. Calfine.
Mm-hmm.
Go there. I think I discard Little Rapskull because that only hurts me in this matchup. Over to you.
All right.
Got 2 whole amber.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, you're spending your creature control very wisely. And your mimicries very wisely to keep me from getting runaway board state syndrome.
Yeah, I love mimicry so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
tool for you to beat my deck is in my
your deck. I think that. Yeah, I have. What was it, like 4 AOA decks that have like that I've already played in the SAS climb with mimicry.
Yeah, with mimicry, it's bonkers. And the only deck you've bought off the secondary market has triple mimicry, right?
Yeah, that's the only deck yeah. Well, I guess technically I bought a namesake deck, which was secondary from TTR, which I don't necessarily consider as the secondary market, but
well, it's technically the secondary market.
Technically,
you bought it open. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it open, but I didn't buy it. I guess I bought it for its name.
Yeah. Secondary just means not the publisher.
Yeah. It just happened to be. I was like, oh, that's my name, and they're offering it. It was more like they offered it for me before I even mentioned it to them. So I was which was really great of them. But I don't. That's why I don't really see it as a secondary in that terms. But yeah, it definitely is. Let's pick my archives. Yeah, get rid of this sucker punch on the Bilgum. Bad penny on the left. Throwing stars. Discard a bad penny. Yeah, I don't think I'll do a hideaway hole. Check at 7.
All right. You've still got a glimmer left. I'm gonna go Dis. Double Tentacus.
Yeah.
Do that. Oh, actually, no, I don't want it on my turn. I do want it on my turn.
All right. You only played 2 creatures.
Indeed.
Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna get through some cards here. Grasping Vines on the Gauntlet. Life Web for the Ember, and a Dusk Witch, which pretty sure you can just kill.
Yeah. We'll go Dis. And Gongoozle the Duck Switch. And then Reap Out.
Reap Out. I'm slowing up here.
Yeah, that's. I'm hoping to actually keep these 4 creatures.
Yeah, I'm gonna not Tideway Hole. Yeah. Well.
Oh shoot!
Dust Imp. I only had one Dust Imp though, but still.
And I killed all of them because it was Oh my gosh! Bilgum Avalanche, man! I just threw it out there. But that was. At least you're not at check. Otherwise, I'd.
That would have.
Stream. We'd go home. Dis. Reaping out here. And now that I'm at check, gonna discard that.
Unlock Gateway.
Actually, I held on to that for a few turns.
Yeah.
So that you couldn't mimicry it. Or glimicry it.
Glimicry.
Glimicry.
Glimicry. Alright. Shoot.
Whew. If I win this, skin of my teeth. Sliding into home plate. With the last possible second.
Let's go Shadows. Play a Skeleton Key, Nerve Blast, Bilgum. Check at 6.
Yeah, I literally don't have amber control, so. I've got Think Drone, Pheromones, Tremor, Gauntlet, Bingle. Can't force you to use your skeleton keys or anything, so.
Right.
Just stun everybody.
Just stun your own guys.
Yep, GG. Ah!
GG. That was so close.
one nerve blast to keep me off there.
I wanted the Glimmer something so bad with the key charge.
Right.
But I could only get 1 Ember off that turn.
That is a 2 and out for Warlord of Toxward.
Yeah.
You really stayed on top of the board states.
Yes.
You kept them from running away. I could see the smoke pouring out of your ears. Getting that work done.
Yeah, that was a. Luckily, I had Mimicry. There's not really much you can do against just without chaining yourself with leaving those cards in your hand. But
yeah.
I almost put in the wrong password.
Warlord turned out to be a war scrub. That's for sure. I'm on Locksmith Oakhorn here.
Locksmith Oakhorn.
0-2. Straight out. We have my own Witch of the Wilds.
Ooh, Witch of the Wilds.
2 Dusk Witch. Soldiers to Flowers, Chota Hazri. Life Web. Heads up.
Okay. So, it's very similar, Untamed.
Yep. Binate Rupture, Rocket Boots. Oh, dude, this is my first Rocket Tesmal deck.
Oh no!
I collect Rocket Tesmal decks, which is 2 Tesmals and a Rocket Boots. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably familiar with what Rocket Tesmal does, but Tesmal is limited to max 2 in a deck because it has Reap. Choose a house. Your opponent cannot choose that house as their active house on their next turn. They're locked to 2 of a deck so that you can never lock your opponent out of all 3 houses, which is different than the old Call of the Archons lock with Restring Guntis and Control the Weak. That was different. They changed the rules to clarify and say, actually, no, we don't want lockouts to happen. But Tesmal lockouts are 100% legit by the rules. And so you just give one of them an extra Reap with Rocket Boots. However, play 2 Tesmals, next turn call Logos, play Rocket Boots, switch back to Disc to Reap with the 2 Tesmals. That's an awful lot of response time.
Yeah.
So it helps if you have like Dusk Witch, and even just 2 Tesmals after a Dusk Witch can be crazy. So we'll see what this does. Not much board control, medium-sized board. Really, I'm going to be trying to do my tricks here.
All right. Yeah, Punctuated Equilibrium.
Yeah, Punctuated Equilibrium, Regrowth. I have a Witch of the Wilds with Gold Key Imp, so I could conceivably call Disc, kill my Gold Key Imp, and then Chota with a Witch of the Wilds out.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Might
Very
not win it.
interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Because we have 2 key imps.
Oh,
We each
that's
have
right.
a Witch of the Wilds, Dusk Witch. Yeah. Gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited for Rocket Tezzy here. Let's see. I'm mulliganing.
I'm gonna start off with a Witch of the Wilds.
All right, let's go. Dis. Hysteria. Banish.
All right.
Tesmal.
All right. Shadows. Let's sucker punch that Tesmal. Discard a bad
Dang
penny.
it. I'm sad. Untamed. Full Moon. Fanghouse.
Oh no.
Witch of the Wilds. Tintadlin.
Oof. Ouch. All right. Untamed. No. I should have played the bad penny because now I'm gonna glimmer the bad penny.
Oh no.
That's Witch of the Wilds. Grasping Vines for nothing. Discard key charge.
Yeah, bearded. When it fires being the most important phrase in that sentence, because that doesn't happen much. Well, I guess fires outside of like Rocket Tesmal. It can definitely get combos outside of Rocket Tesmal. So, like for instance, I could regrowth that Tesmal and Dis right now.
Yeah.
But then I don't get to do anything to that Witch of the Wilds. But that might be fine to keep that threat up. No, you know what we do here is we go Logos. We're gonna binate.
Oof. Yeah, that does it.
Going to Titan Librarian, Research Smoko. I'm gonna ZYX Researcher. I can
get that binate.
Sure. That actually feels really powerful to have that just on demand. Oh yeah, and I'm telegraphing a bit, but I can just regrowth for Tesmal anyways, which I do like.
Yeah.
So then Titan Librarian. Do that. Already going better than Warlord of Toxward. Check at 9.
Let's go Shadows.
Just praying.
Yeah, pick up my archives.
I wanted all those creatures. I'm just really hoping that life web is. Ooh, key charge down there already. Let's go.
I'm gonna sucker punch. I don't like this. Let's sucker punch the Fanghouse.
Okay.
Play a bad penny. Throwing stars for 1, 2, 3. On my own glimmer. And then discard the bad penny. Wait. I can play Untamed.
You can, yeah.
Sucker punch research. Okay. It could clog up his archives, which, like,
true,
not the best maneuver, but not a terrible one. Like, if you have nothing else.
It's going to clog up the archives no matter when it happens, whether it's me fighting with it or not.
Yeah, but you could pick up your archives and
speed when it eventually dies.
So you did archive a Binate Rupture and then regrowth Tesmal. So if I think you're gonna call this. Um, let's play a Dusk Witch.
All right. I'll forge.
Check at 8.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go dis. No archives. Gold Key Imp. Tesmal. A fair game. Yeah, baby.
Oh, ooh!
I discarded Dust Imp, and you have
5
mostly
dis.
dis in your hand.
Yeah.
So I chose to go dis, even though in this I cannot kill either of your witches.
Right.
But in this turn, I could play all that, do a fair game with only 2 other cards in my hand.
I was so lucky.
And then drop the Dust
That's-
Witch.
Yeah, that was fair.
So,
Eh,
yeah, a fair game, right? I love that card
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, a fair game. I guess that is. And then you start playing with it and you go,
and you're like,
no,
That's
this
not
is
fair
not a
at
fair
all."
game. This is not a fair game at all.
especially you have a Hysteria in this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So checkmate.
Yeah. Well, you did see all my discards were creatures.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, so you do have
Uh,
you have what's called a turn.
Yes, I do have a great turn. So Gub beside the Dusk Witch. How do I want to? Bronze Key Imp. Spider.
I'm usually a very defensive player, so that was
Tempicus over there.
that play was not comfortable.
I'm gonna fight Witch of the Wilds.
Yep.
Bronze Key Imp is gonna fight Tesmal. Spider's gonna fight Tesmal. Tempicus is gonna fight Dusk Witch. I'm gonna play a Scullion. There. Scullion's gonna fight Dusk Witch. And I will Persistence Hunting for logos.
Woof.
So board clear, but could have been, yeah. Yeah, logo seemed pretty good there. No, because you had Hex Beyond.
We're gonna
And
go
3 logos creatures.
Yeah. We go Untamed, no archives, Life Web.
Yeah, I turned that on, didn't I?
Yep. So Life Web, Soldiers to Flowers, Darna. Oh, I could have got an extra one off of Darna. Shoot. Got nothing in your archives.
No.
I can't kill anything. I could kill Spider. I just still need something for Gold Key Imp to die on. Yeah, your Dusk Witch is going to still be online, unfortunately. So yeah, not even check because of
Gold key.
gold
Yep.
key.
I think I called.
Yeah, so that desk coach has been left alone for a long time, but he spent all of that all those disc creatures coming in ready were all to fight off my threats while
Yeah.
I got to 9 amber for my, for check for my, well, not even check for my third key because of gold key imp, which kind of shot myself in the foot before key 1 there.
Let's go dis. Do I? Let's Bumblebird here. Dust Imp on the left. I'm gonna fight the Darno with Dust Imp. Misery Exploit would get me 1. Scullian's gonna fight off the Titan Librarian. And I'll reap twice over here.
Alright.
And I've already played my Untamed, so there we go.
Alright, I have to go disc to kill my gold key imp.
Yep. Yeah, check at 8, by the way.
Yeah. We'll fight there. One, two, three. Okay, I think this is worth it here. We're gonna go boom, boom,
Double Embers.
boom, boom, boom.
Oh, Pandemonium.
Yep. What's
Shoot.
up? What is
Shoot.
up? Check at 7. Still at check. Pandemonium.
Oh man.
Maybe I drew my Chota. Maybe I'm super unlucky. Who knows?
I'm gonna definitely go Untamed even though I have the Witch of the Wilds out. Just because this is too good to pass up.
Oh no!
I'm gonna
I hate
Life
it when
Web.
you say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna Life Web.
Yep.
Mimicry. Life Web.
Oh,
Yeah.
you asshole. Oh, that feels terrible.
That was so good to pass up.
That feels terrible. I think I'm done with like KeyForge. See, this is where it's getting bad. Where like I tried to zoomies and yeah, it's biting me
Right off the Yerk.
because you can control my zoomies here.
Yeah. I think I still. You can still.
Shoot.
I think I just reached 3 times here, even though it will stun them. It's not board control. It will put me up to 13. So if you don't stop me here, it's gonna. Yeah.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
This is your double glimmer deck, right?
It is. It is.
Okay, you already reaped out with all that stuff. You still have Duskwitch though. Yeah, double life web. Disgusting. Sorry, where's my phone?
That was it. I like doing that. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that again though.
That was gross. Okay. I go logos here. I pull my archives. I do not binate. I do cutthroat.
Oof. Yeah.
I do Librarian, I do Hex Peon, I do Seismo Entangler. I do Wild Wormhole. That is bad.
Blood Shard Imp.
Yep.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't think about that worst case scenario. I think I still have enough amber for it to be an issue, because now I can't. But now I can't reap.
Mm-hmm.
Know exactly what I'm drawing. Okay. That was what they call a situation. All right.
All right. I do not think I can. Oh shoot! No.
The
Oh
wild
shoot!
wormhole betrayed me because, of course, it did. Because it's a wild wormhole.
Shoot!
A
I
mouth.
think I can stop you as long as I don't gain any ember before I play a Gamgee and reap with it. So that brings you. So that brings you down to 6. Nerve Blast. So that brings you down to 5. And then I'll just go up to 11. Archive that in my turn. I did not see the Gamgee at first.
Well, this is fun. I'm 1 amber short.
Oh, you have a
Joda.
Joda. Yeah, you have Joda in hand.
Yep. That.
You don't have any. You don't have any
So
board clears in
here's
Untamed.
a. There is one. Okay, so you're on check.
Yeah.
I don't have the amber control to stop you. However, there is one completely insane Hail Mary. I have.
Wild Wormhole into a gold key?
No.
No. Oh.
No. It's in Untamed. So let me double check. So
Yeah.
Dis. Yeah. It's the chances are next to nothing. So yeah,
Right.
exactly, Dinobot. Exactly. With something with an
Oh.
amber pip, like regrowth. So
Yeah.
Seismo Entangler, useless. So this is all reaping. That's not gonna get me anything. Dis. I just have these two. Okay. So we go Untamed.
What's your draw in Untamed?
We
But you could.
Heart of the cards! We punctuated.
Oh, you punctuated. I didn't.
I redrew Soldiers to Flowers. I did not redraw Chota.
Oh.
So we'll blow that up. We'll sack
forgot about
that. We'll Soldiers
punctuated.
to Flowers for the poetry. And
Oh
and
man.
That's Chi-Chi. That was my only out. And I was proud of myself too for playing like I hit the gas and then you hit the gas. And I was like, I think I have an out by just hitting the gas harder.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And you barely, it was
Barely.
close.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to call it a completely wrong thing, because I would have had to really slow down to take out your witches, although perhaps that really would have been the right play.
May it,
No.
perhaps? Because I did get 2 crazy dis turns off with it, even though you're able to life web.
Right. And then you just life webbed me right back. So
Right.
it probably would have been the right call to control there instead of just trying to drive faster than you. But a rematch, yeah.
Yes.
Whew, at least this deck is fun.
That was that was a brain burner for sure.
Bonkers, absolutely bonkers.
Okay, yeah, I keep.
I'll keep as well. Dis. Open with that.
Ooh, Untamed. Let's start off with the Dusk Witch.
The game was wild. Okay. I don't like that. One bit. Dis.
Tesmal. Yeah.
Desmol. Pandemonium. Oh. TCO prompted me to choose creatures, and I'm clicking Yerk. And I'm like, why won't you do anything? I'm like, oh, it's because he has no amber.
No Ember. So where that made you choose at that?
I am
At
going to
that
drop
number.
the Amber Imp.
All right.
I am going to drop the Amber Imp because, so, it would stun my own Tesmal. However, you've got a live Dusk Witch. And I'd
Yeah.
rather you spend it fighting the Tesmal and then maybe the Amber Imp. Because you get stuns from Reaping if they're
Yeah.
coming in ready. So
Right.
that's my thoughts on the Amber Imp. Is I've got Tesmal probably won't live.
Yeah, it's smart. Let's go in the shadows. I'm gonna hidden stash. Nerve blast the Tesmal.
Yep. Friggin' bad penny with Duskwitch, man. That's
I can't, because Ember Imp is elusive. I cannot fight it off because I would fight, and it will not be destroyed.
oh, that's right. Yep.
So that's one use. 2, 3, 4.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I wish I could kill off one or the other, but I cannot. And if I do I reap with them? I might just reap here. Even though that will, yeah, that's my 6th use. All right.
All right. Dis, we have to take care of this. Drop a gold key imp.
Okay. Let's go into this. Misery exploit for nope. No, not my archives. Misery exploit for 2.
I thought that was in your deck, and then I was like,
Put damage on him, yeah.
Yeah, I should have gone in with Yerk.
Not finished with you for the Dusk Witch. And then a Shadow of Dis. So Ember Imp is not online at the moment.
Okay. Creature text boxes are blank, you say?
Yeah. Dusk Witch.
Choda, Dusk Witch.
Oh, Choda. Wait.
What? That shouldn't be ready.
I don't think. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
No, because that's a blank. That's a blank 1 power creature.
Well, no, because Silvertooth enters play ready, doesn't it? Even though on a Shadow of Dis.
Oh, I wonder.
I have a feeling that's right,
check,
but it's
check
so
that on.
weird.
Go to Archon Arcana's Duskwitch page while I open. Oh yeah, this might not be a. I was going to open Paint to throw the screenshot in here so I can be a responsible TCO issue submitter. But that could very well be.
It only mentions Omega.
All right, we got the screenshot.
What about server? Shadow of Dis. Because that would probably have a better. Does it? have a silver. Yes. So Shadow of Dis only affects creatures while they're in play. Silvertooth's ability modifies how it enters play, so it is in effect before the Shadow of Dis effect applies to it. So Silvertooth enters play ready, because Silvertooth reads. It
Wait, so
play
if I
ready.
played Dusk Witch first. Wait, no.
No, because it only applies when it's
It would
in
only
hand.
apply to itself.
Yeah, it only applies to itself.
Because it's blank once it hits the board.
Which is confusing, but that's how it's been.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sort of makes sense to me, that it's silver-toothing itself in its hand.
Yes.
But then it's blank once it's on the board.
Yes.
That's not super intuitive.
It is not. But you do have an Ember Imp in play.
But yeah, I don't really care if this is stunned.
Actually, no, you don't. Because it's a Shadow of Dis.
That's right. Shadow of Dis. Forgot about that.
That's, yeah.
Okay. Fascinating.
Weird. That's weird.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'm sure that's been talked about over in the rules, in various places where people talk about rules. I'll have to go read up on that.
It does not look like Steam Elements, or not Steam Elements, but the Archon bot in chat worked for Shadow of Dis.
Oh yeah, I don't know. We have Archon Matrix. I don't know if
Archon
that's.
Matrix, that's it.
No.
Yeah, that.
If the rules one is a different bot.
Yeah, that's such an interesting play. Let's go in the shadows. No. Skeleton key.
Oh, good point, Murtani. You normally don't realize it would enter play ready since Omega ends your turn normally anyways. Yeah, even when I play it, I probably, in person, I play it exhausted and then just ready it at the end of the turn, ending my turn.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That is. Yeah. Throwing stars. Yeah, let's get rid of the Ember Imp. Even though having you threaten that the stun would be interesting. Discard Bad Penny. Yeah, that's such an interesting niche case.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Against some unfathomable exhaust stuff. Against Storm Surge.
Right.
Okay. Choices. I'm going to go Logos. Cutthroat. Librarian. Osmo. Hexpion. Your turn.
All right. Yeah. No, that was 2 turns ago. Okay. So let's see. Let's go Untamed. I'll pick up my archive. I'm gonna Glimmer for Shadow of Dis. Life will have to steal 2.
Should have known.
Key charge, the Forge Set key. Grasping Vines, don't send anything up, and then I'll Mimicry. What's in my... I don't have any Untamed creatures in my discard. Pandemonium's not great. Cutthroat.
Gross. Logos. Oh, this is not a good situation. Rocket boots.
Oof. Yeah.
Reap. 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 Play Smoko. Play Wild Wormhole. Nice.
Nice. Six researcher.
Yeah, put that on the left. Let's go deck. Over to you. I get to archive. All right.
All right.
Oh, that was a bad archive. I think it's because I'm on a microphone. I hate silently thinking.
I do that a lot.
Like I was just like, oh, that's a good card that I'd want to set something up with. And then I put it in my archives and went, that doesn't work. There's a Nambo in there.
Yeah, I'm not. I like how they, how a TCO is more streamlined now, but I kind of wish I could at least see either the number of cards in your hand without just looking at the number, or like seeing upside down for the archives, instead of just numbers. Because before it used to show, like, it actually showed your cards, like your opponent's like cards and like how many they had without the number.
Right.
Or with the number, but also the physical cards, and then also showed like a spot for the archives.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very just text information you have to read.
Yeah. Let's go Dis. So I'm gonna play Shadow of Dis here. Spider. I guess I can click on your opponent's hand to do that. Yeah, it's not the same, but it's something.
Yes.
You do have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a good number of hello ghost creatures. But I think I need to get the gold key imp, so I'm gonna have to fight that off with a dust imp.
It is elusive.
Shadow of Dis.
Oh, it's not elusive.
You
also won't get 2 amber. No, it's just enemies.
Yeah, it's such a good card. Shadow of Dis is so good. Let's. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get that gold key just so I can threaten without much of a issue.
Threaten without much of an issue.
Yeah.
It's insulting.
And Shadow of Dis.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go. Gonna go Untamed. Yes. Let's see. We're going to. Okay. We're gonna regrowth. Doesn't really matter, but we'll pick up the Dust Witch. We'll play Tintadlin. We're gonna reap with Chota. We will Punctuated.
All right.
We will. Witch of the Wilds. We will Darna. Gain
Yeah,
nothing
not gain.
because of Shadow of Dis. Whee!
All right.
I was Shadow of Dis. I could have played.
You give.
I could have played those Dusk Witches. I
Oh,
had
you
2
kept
Dusk
them in your
Witches.
hand. Oh, you did. Oh, from yeah. You did. Yeah.
Just realized that. I'm very proud, though, however, that I thought of that before I had to shamefully read it from one of our lovely people in chat saying, hey, Zach. Hey, bud. Dude. Right? I'm glad I realized that here. Right? So now if I'm, ever playing with these cards or similar effects in the game, you can be like, oh, I'm Shadow of Dist. Okay, here's
I
my
have a Dusk
multiple
Witch.
Dusk
Yeah.
Witches.
Yeah.
Crap on a cracker, man.
That sucks.
That's okay. I mean, I know it now.
Yeah.
Because we had just gone over it, and it's not like I play against Shadow of Dis is
It's
make
such
some
a rare
wacky
card.
rules.
Yeah. So I thought about.
Oh, and also, Britannia, just think if that were a tournament, yes, that's what happens to me at tournaments. In sealed tournaments.
Yeah.
I've never really gotten to do. I've gotten to do one Archon tournament where I placed top 4.
So I thought about glimmering mimicry to punctuated,
Hmm.
and then I would potentially get a Witch of the Wilds and a Dusk Witch.
Right.
But I realized I have Key Charge in hand or in my discard.
Oh, do you
now
have the amber for it?
I do. Full Moon, Rustnar,
GG.
Resistance Hunting for Untamed, and then Key Charge.
Whew. Yeah, this was a rough one with this deck.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, even my mistake there, literally would not have changed anything.
Not consequential.
Yeah, inconsequential error.
Yeah.
So.
And you never got your Pesmal as the fire, which I think.
Oh yeah, they never decided to show up, sadly.
If they were able to fire, I think that would have, unless I had my Witch of the Wilds, it would have been like a game changer.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. No, they never got to live, and they never got to live.
Yeah.
All right, you got one more in you?
I do. Yes.
All right, I've got Zambian of Discworld Zone on the docket.
Call the Archons.
Yes, call the Archons. 17 expected amber, which is nice. 11 pips. 122 effective power.
Oh,
which also means there's no board wipes. So
it's also got -1 speed.
Yep.
-1 efficiency. Thanks to Phosphorus Stars.
Yeah, Phosphorus Stars and Clear Mind. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's actually. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a.
Yep.
I think I remember playing against this deck. I'm creating a.
Game for us.
Matchup.
What I say, Zambian of Discworld Zone. Excellent. Yeah, this is all beef. All beef.
Yeah. Double Fire Spitter, Ganger Chieftain, double loot the bodies in an anger.
Yeah, double loot the bodies with lots of ways to kill creatures.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
And especially with my 2 power creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They shall not live. Drop a Fire Spitter T1. I also think with the Dusk Witches, I was not like I had not internalized that Shadow of Dis ruling yet, right?
Yeah.
Especially because we learned it on the fly there, just because we wanted to evaluate what TCO was doing. All right, let's do Brobnar, Lemire, Smith.
Hmm.
I'm just going to fight that off. Yeah, Dinobot,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Discworld was... I doubt Discworld would have been put into the algorithm as one word because it's... I assume it's trademarked. Because it's Terry Pratchett, and I know he's gotten a state and everything.
It is with a K instead of a C, so that could be
Oh,
how
so I
they got
wonder if they
around
put
it.
it in with a K.
Yeah,
Or the algorithm could have also just smooshed it all together.
could have.
Fire Spitter not quite strong enough to one-shot that entire battle line here.
As an interest of note, or a note of interest, there are currently 9 decks with Discworld in it, with
Oh.
this spelling.
Only 9.
Only 9.
Fascinating. All right, I'm just going to drop some Sanctum.
All right. This is... Yeah. I can't. I can Spider the Lemire Flame Fist. But I don't know if that's worth it. No, it's not. Let's go Untamed. I'm gonna Bumblebird. Witch of the Wilds. Discard Glimmer, and discard a Key Charge.
Oh, fudge, you opened
Really?
a Discworld deck? There's only 9 with that. That's that word specifically. That's pretty slim chances.
There's the Count of Discworld, the Triangular Plunderer of Discworld, Chloe Discworld First Mate, Indros Discworld's Crook, Tycho Discworld Prodigy, Ignacio Discworld Officer, which looks like Fudginator opened, Malin the DJ of Discworld, and Bra Discworld's Master. Bra. And then your deck.
Let's go Brobnar, Fire Spitter, Screech Bomb. This Fire Spitter gonna go into Bumblebird.
Mm-hmm.
Anger Chieftain here into Witch.
Yeah.
Reap. Ignacio, that's awesome.
Ignacio. It's looks like it's a Mass Mutations deck. Angry Mob. It's got a KeyFrog. Mumilu, which is always like that card. Double Lost in the Woods, double Rapid Evolution.
Testing if it looks like Archon Matrix is not online.
All right. And there's the Ignacio Discworld Officer.
Oh, it is your turn.
All right. Word of Returning has a damage pip.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Alright, what am I... Let's go Dis. Yeah, let's go Dis. Dust Damp, Tentacus, make your fighting seem a little less wanted.
I think So we're early in the game. You're at 0 amber. I actually think this is where I go Brobnar, and I've got loot the bodies.
Oof. All right.
So I actually think this is where I'm going to go. Do I sacrifice a fire spitter to the Tentacus? No, I can take that out. I can take that out some other time. Well, I get the amber for it. And it would free up that Hallowed Blaster. Actually, yeah, I'm going to fight with the Lomir for once I cycle.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if you have. I don't think you really have artifact control. Oh, you have you have 2 Tentacus.
2 Tentacus and a Rusknar.
And a Rusnar. So we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and Screech Bomb.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dis. Misery Exploit. You did a loot the bodies.
That's correct.
Not finished with you. Glimmer. Double Dust Imps. I think that's it. And then this. Oh shoot. Then you can just. If I play this Gub, you could potentially loot the bodies. I don't think you have both of them in hand this early, or both of them this early at least. So yeah, I'm just gonna play loot the bodies. Or sorry,
Right.
a Gub.
Oh, a Gub. Yep.
Misspoke.
I will forge. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I'm going to go Mars. Discard Phosphorus Stars, Deep Probe for Shadows.
Ooh, my bad penny.
Oh, just your bad penny. Shoot.
Thank you.
Hidden Stash, Throwing Stars, Bad Penny, Grasping Vines, Rustnar, Sucker Punch. Okay, so there was only 2 creatures.
Yeah.
Bolter.
I wouldn't mind seeing mind having Deep Probe come back.
Yeah, Deep Probe is cool. I love Deep Probe turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like turn 1, player 1.
All right, let's go let's go Shadows. I really want to get rid of. I really want to get rid of one of your fire spitters, but you've put a bolter out. I'm gonna have to sucker punch the bolter. I think just because that reap 2 damage is really good against this deck.
Yeah.
Throwing stars, bolter, Gub, and the only one that can take damage is Gengar Chieftain.
Yep.
Hidden Stash on that card, I guess. Check at 9.
All right. Sanctum. Hallowed Blaster. We can actually get that totally cleared. Oh, here's a fun a nombo into just not even a combo, but just regular playing cards. Lady Maxina has to stun a creature.
Yeah.
Oh no. Clear Mind.
Oh, that's great.
Double Shield of Justice, another blaster. Reap.
All right. I forgot you had Cleansing Waste, so I need to not just damage willy-nilly here. I can't stop you from forging. But what I can do is I think some chains might be worth it here.
All right.
So I'll pick up my archives. Glimmer for Witch of the Wilds.
Okay.
Mimicry Phosphorus Stars.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, you just used your clear mind,
Yep.
so I don't have to
Wow.
worry about that.
Okay.
Witch of the Wilds, Rusknar, Grasping Vines for Hallowed Blasters,
Jeez.
Persistence. Persistence Hunting for, I think, you just called Sanctum. It's 3/3 no matter what. I think I'm gonna have to exhaust Brobnar. Yeah.
All right. Forging.
Because I know you have an anger and stuff like that.
Yep.
But since they're already stunned, you can't
Yeah, not getting anything.
exhaust stun.
Yeah, that was a bad turn. Should have gone a different way.
Alright. Let's go Dis. Dust Damp, not finished with you for Glimmer. And then I'll Shadow of Dis so your creatures are blank.
Hmm.
And I'll play, it's not threatening check, but Life Web.
Yep. Mars to keep it moving here.
Tunk.
Tunk, Squawker, Mothership support.
Ooh, nice.
To hit. Ooh, actually, I think I hit the Dust Imp here just to guarantee you're spending it on the Jammer pack.
Ah, okay.
Then we'll fight that off. Check.
Another.
Check at 6.
Alright. Let's go Shadows. Hideaway Hole.
It's been the kind of night where I'm at check at 6, you... And
Yeah.
I look like I have the advantage, but I do not feel confident.
Nerve Blast.
Yeah, there's
fires.
a Nerve Blast.
Yeah.
I do not feel confident.
Nerve Blast. Skeleton Key on to... Game G is going to be a hard one for you to just... Unless... You've already done Anger, so I don't think you can exhaust Fire Spitter and use it again. Even that wouldn't really do much at that point.
Yeah, Brobnar. Remove stuns. Lava Ball.
Yeah.
That's all I could really do. I got great value out of the Lava Ball there.
Right.
And I just really need... Yeah, I'm still fighting to have options here. But at least that Champion Tabris is still...
Yeah, that's annoying.
alive and well.
I'm gonna call Untamed. Let's Glimmer for... You only played one creature, so don't think I need to hit Life Web.
This is a great Glimmer deck.
If I Glimmer for Mimicry...
So many tools, man. It's cool.
I can hit Smith, which does nothing. Or give me a number. Loot the bodies. I don't have any board clear and Untamed. I could Phosphorus Stars again. Is that? No, you have one tunk out. I don't know if deep probe to see what's coming up, maybe?
Deep probe to see what's coming up. You're not going to see what's coming up with a deep probe. That's for sure.
I see your hand. Nothing I can answer to. Anger's not gonna do anything. Squawker's gonna stun. Yeah.
Legacy, Glimmer, and a Kong deck. That's awesome.
That's sweet. And Lava Ball won't really do much wave or board clears. I'm gonna hit. This is. Instead of stunning, I will persist. Instead of getting the stuns, I will take back persistent stunning and hit Brobnar. Full moon. Do I do the hideaway hole here? Just so you can't kill off the glimmer easily? Yeah. So hideaway hole, and then Dusk Witch.
Woof. Gosh darn it. Mars. Mother gun.
Alright.
Pew pew.
Mind Warper and John Smith.
Yep. Glimmer is hideaway hold.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that not gonna do me any good. Mind Warper, John Smith. Check at 6.
Alright. See,
we can do it. Yeah, I love Brobnar Mars, Fudge. I love Brobnar Mars. Friggin' Rogue Ogre, man. I want to see that reprinted.
That'd be great to see.
For rare, it's kind of weird, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not bad, it's just super strange. The only non-Logos mutant in Call of the Archons.
Mind Warper is out here. I don't know if I can do it with Mind Warper. Let's go Shadows. Bad Penny. Lamindra.
What are you up to?
Throwing stars for 1, 2.
That's suspicious.
Now the only way I can stop you is with the skeleton key. This will only put me up to 7 anyways. I can't kill off any of yours. So I'll just kill off all 3 of mine. Put me up to 7. Yeah. And then skeleton key here.
Yep.
So I'm not. All right.
I believe the play is Mars, Mind Warper, Mind Warper. I have a single Mars card in my hand.
All right. Yeah, that would do it.
Then drop all that
Swap budget.
and check.
Yeah, that will do it.
Woo!
No creatures and shadows. The
First
capture
win
with
of the
skeleton
night.
key. Bumblebird key charge. In my turn.
Oh, when you said key charge, my heart skipped a beat. I was like, wait, no! Hold on!
Wait a minute.
But you said... But you said. Oh man.
Yeah,
Good game. That board. So this board actually showed up, which was nice.
it did.
Yeah, the loot the
That-
bodies were good.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was some cards or sometimes I should play creatures because of loot the bodies.
Right.
But the only way I could stop you is with creatures, so like
Yeah.
50-50 at that point.
Fire spitters were MVP.
Yeah, especially
sure.
against this deck.
Yeah.
That jammer pack was a brutal.
Oh yeah, this was like turn 2.
Yeah,
I want to say that that those 2 went down, then jammer pack maybe turn 3 or 4. Right.
Yeah, I think it was like because you did Bromnar.
Yeah.
2 turns and then
you're right.
Sanctum.
So
Mark.
turn 3 was when these dropped down. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, turn. Oh, then they just lived there for a bunch. Okay, it was turn 6. They lived there for a long time, and then turn 6, they Tabaris carried the jammer pack, which I don't think she's very happy about. She's a fighter, and she just hid behind champion Anafiel with a Martian device the entire battle, so she's kind of pissed off.
It was very brutal, though.
Yeah.
Even if they were mainly stunned for the half the match.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My goodness. But yeah, drawing into the John Smith Mind Warper at the very end.
Yeah, that did a lot.
Was nice. Was nice. Now, if you hadn't, you had to keep me off check with the Minder. You didn't have a choice,
right?
Because it would have been game over. So,
yeah, I had another way of taking you off.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because I saw the Mind Warper John Smith, and I was like, I wish I had no creatures, but then I can't. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I know what I learned tonight. Hyper.
What's that?
I learned. Well, I learned 2 things. One, I learned some more nitty gritty about how Shadow of Disc probably works. I'll go find all the random ruling things.
Yeah.
That have been out there. Ghost Galaxy says they're going to be doing like compiled rulings instead of by email. So
yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, reading up on that Shadow of Disc, those interactions there, because it could easily come up with other cards, right? Enters play cards and Winds of Exchange or something.
Right.
And then I also learned that sometimes my inclination to play defensively is correct. That I should kill your Dusk Witch and not let it live literally the entire game.
Yeah,
that was a great game.
Most witches, unless you know exactly what they have in hand, you should probably kill off the witches.
Right. Yeah. There are some situations, like I was doing the math on I was trying to do the math on Witch of the Wilds, right? Because this is why I love KeyForge, is because the cost is all opportunity costs, even how cards are designed. Hunting Witch doesn't cost anything to play, except the opportunity costs that like you never pay anything to play. Right. You just get to play things, and they all have different strengths and weaknesses. Like Hunting Witch is not elusive, and it's only 2 power.
Very easy to kill off.
Right.
With 1 fight.
But a very, but generally speaking, a strong card. So, like the math I was doing in my head for, do I play Coward's End to only kill your Witch of the Wilds? I said, okay, I would chain myself for 3 cards. I'd lose 3 cards over 3 turns.
Right.
And
how many cards do you think I could play during that time?
Like, can I kill the Dusk Witch at 2 cards or less to just get my self value from that, when I didn't currently have another way, like have a confident way to kill the Witch of the Wilds in hand.
Right.
There's also something to be said about like, it was definite and it was done if I played that played the Coward's End, because then you wouldn't have a chance to react and protect it.
That's a finite, or if you've done the Coward's End, you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
But you don't know what's going to happen if it stays out and you discard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I love KeyForge, is because that's where the strategy lives.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's where the tactics lives when you're thinking really hard about this stuff.
And what I like, and I really like how you can utilize like cards that like no one really thinks like they're not great cards, generally speaking, but they have their uses. And like Shadow of Disc, I barely get seen play. I love the card. I'd love to see it more, but it's just one of those that's rare.
It's certainly good, but you don't see it that often.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bumblebird is one of those that's like, is it good? Well,
No,
no.
not.
But if you can do it after a Dusk Witch, it makes that Dusk Witch a little bit more survivable. So,
Yeah, that's very true.
yeah. When is this
Very
card
true.
good?
Yeah. Yeah, Fudgeinator. When is this card good? Indeed, we ended up there kind of by accident,
Yeah.
I guess.
Shadow of Disc. Already done.
Yeah. That one,
Yeah.
oh man, that would be a full episode just on Shadow of Disc. I'm considering sneak peek. So 2 sneak peeks for anybody still watching. I will be announcing a date soon for Call of Discovery to come back. Everything has fallen into place for our musical episode to launch. So I'll be announcing a date soon. I'm going to give myself a little bit of some time to do some planning because Ed is not going to be as involved. I'll talk about it on the podcast at some point. He'll still be around, just not as involved. So we're going to have a date for that soon. It's going to be this month. I can say that confidently. And one thing I want to do is when we have guests on, yes, doing a deck discovery, if they have a deck they really have a good story about, or one that's just really interesting to them, because I think that's super valuable. However, I'm also going to offer up guests to do a When Is This Card Good whole episode with me instead of a deck discovery episode as their follow-up. So, like for instance, if somebody came on and wanted to talk about Shadow of Disc, we could just dive into Shadow of Disc and argue rules for 45 minutes. So little sneak peek. I'll probably put an announcement out once we're like a week, 2 weeks out. I've got to finish the edit, and then I will say the date once I actually have the edit saved to the computer.
I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, for sure. It is a musical episode. If you pay attention to some corners of the internet, you will have noticed that. But it won't have the Pokemon theme song. But I'm thinking Floxamal may have to happen for Orion.
All the songs that didn't make it to the musical episode.
Yeah. Yeah, Fudge. We have reached out to C. Peterson like everybody and their mother did. We have not heard back. We have not heard back in well, I heard back from him. Literally the first message I sent through the form was just a sappy thank you so much. This game means so much to me. I'm so glad that you're saving it. I did put Call of Discovery as my business name next to my name, right in the form. And we've reached out from the podcast channels. I just haven't heard back yet, but I'm sure they're very busy and are figuring out their strategy for going on podcasts. So I hope he's got time to make the rounds at some point. We would love to have him as the interview-focused podcast, but I know everybody else does love, a good official KeyForge person, which is great. So yeah. And I've got plans for some topics and some guests. I've got some plans. I've got some plans to see where we go with it. So, anyways,
I'm gonna put a win in for Zambian.
Oh, thank you. Oh, did I win?
Yeah,
I did.
You did win.
Look at that, little old me. Oh, okay. Last thing, a little more fun, a little more casual. We have played 59 games. Hyper.
Wow.
Looking at the sum here.
Yeah.
59 games. My record is 19-40. My record is 19-40 against you. You are 40-19.
Yeah, the McNally mid-ball definitely put in the work for that.
Yep. Which
Um,
I think is roughly, very impressive for Hyper. Hyper is very impressive. He's my ticket to Worlds if they honor those invites.
I figure.
Yeah, but I'm not too sad. One, because Hyper is a very good player. Two, because my collection is, I think, 4 times as big as yours.
4 times as big, yeah.
Yeah. So I will naturally have more clunkers that our SAS is rating correctly as clunkers, right?
Right. Yeah. If we get through all the decks at the same time, like you and your list and I and my list around the same time,
Right.
I would be winning, I think, 4 times as much.
Oh,
Just
that's
because
right.
of that.
Yeah, that's right. See, now what we need to have Bearded do, because this is the kind of thing he does in his free time, is figure out like a rating system that accounts for the size difference of our of our of our collections, so that like when I win, it's weighted differently than when you win. And really, I'm only saying that so I can appear the least amount of competitive as I take L's here. So
yeah, I think you're gonna get to some decks that are bigger, that just do what they do.
Well, weighted, I feel like there'd be some other considerations there. I'm a little too sleepy to really math that out, Bearded, but it might balance out Dinobot once we get literally
just
fly out just with by 0.25.
Yeah.
There's a handful of mine that when we get to, I know they can really bring the heat. I'm not seeing any of them in the next few weeks, sadly. But some of my middle SAS and some of my high SAS stuff, I could probably steamroll a couple hyper decks.
yeah. I know you have a few that can do that.
Yeah. Just for my ego's sake. Let's see. Oh, hey, Amber Meads. Yeah, very end. We're just chatting. We finished the last game a bit ago.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, this one. This is one of my best decks. It's not the most consistent as far as top end decks go. When Knowledge's Power was still a team, and Grant was still playing KeyForge, they actually reached out to me to purchase this deck, which I said no, because I was like, if you very deep, very data-oriented KeyForge practicers want HRH Fearshard, the Sizzling Despot, it's good. I'm keeping it. But it's Dark Amber Vault, 7 mutants. A bunch of them are in, 5 of them are in Logos, including Skippy Time Hog. So Skippy is fantastic. And then on the next turn, then they're shut down for a turn, right? After you've had a huge Logos turn, then you Essence Scale, blow up the Skippy, Stirring Grave. Stirring Grave is huge because you bring back an Infernus or a Skippy, right?
Right.
Smiling Ruth with Essence Scale. Skixuno is the only board wipe. So there's 2 Infernus, and there's a Ritual of Tognath. So you can, that's a 6 amber swing, right? Playing Ritual and then purging it.
Yeah, it's big.
Yep.
Yeah.
If it's right to purge the Tognath, that's a really complicated thing to think through. Imperial Trader, hilariously good. In like looking at hand is great, and then if they're playing Sanctum, just getting to purge whatever I want is awesome. Eclectic for speed. Really, what this deck wants to do is set up a few of its set up a few of its artifacts, get Dark Amber Vault, and then burst and Logos draw everything, and then have super mean shadows and disc turns. And the disc turns are double Essence Scale with Drekker and Infernus. So
yeah,
I think it's rough.
You can keep shuffling the Red Pinion with the Essence Scales and yeah.
Tempting Offer won me a match. I played in the Ancient Bear Republic League and I played HRH Fear Shard against a double Deacillus deck. And tempting offer, even though it's strictly worse than Lights Out, still, because it's a bounce effect and bounce effects are powerful, like this is still a balanced card, and half the time I've drained them of Amber anyways, and so I need something for Bad Penny to steal, or Look Over There to steal. So tempting offer, like that Amber was usually fine, and 2 bounce cards against dinos was really good. And I thrashed my opponent, and he messaged me afterwards. He was like, "Hey, that was bonkers, and that's one of my best decks. Could we practice that sometime and talk about the matchup?" I was like, "Yeah." And then we never did, but anyways.
Yeah, the Logos Ghost Talk is...
Oh, yeah, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Actually, I could show you all, because it's Fear Shard's back on the table, or on my shelf back here. Always love a good Maverick.
I think I just like the Untamed Mavericks in Logos. I have a Fertility Chain Logos, and that looks sweet as well.
Deck box. Yeah, so I set up a whole bunch of deck boxes back there, just in rows of all my favorite decks. A lot of my best, like, Archon Solo stuff, but then also my first deck, and then Deep Cut, the Keeper's the Strong Chinned, the deck I did 150 games with after I opened it sealed on the mics for Call of Discovery, which was the single thing I did that made me a better KeyForge player. As far as like the one thing I did, was playing with a middling quality Worlds Collide deck. I am undefeated in adaptive matches with that deck.
That's impressive actually.
Yeah. Yep, undefeated in best of 1 and full adaptive matches with that deck so far. And that's like playing in ABR, playing in leagues. Yeah, whenever it's adaptive, I pop that thing right out. All right, here, I'll pull it out of the sleeve so we don't get glare here. But here's our Logos Ghost Talk. Ooh. Let's see if our autofocus will be our friend here. There we go, a little bit. It's very pretty. I love the blue contrasting with the red. Usually it's the red, the red of the Ghost Talk contrasting with the green. So
yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love the blue and Logos that just or matches with that, the Untamed red orange.
Yeah, and there's some good reap effects, like dropping it next to a Drekker, friggin' Smiling Ruth. I've had Smiling Ruth go off with this deck a couple of times, because you have so many ways to trigger her if they didn't kill her right. So Ghost Hawk, Essence Scale. So she's fun. Not like a top tier card, but when I've ended some games just with what I've stolen with that. Fudge, you're saying you're taking over Kagi. Oh, that's awesome. Next season. Oh, because is that all adaptive? I've heard of Kagi, obviously, because I'm on the Discords. And Kagi's been around for so long, but I'll jump over there and get the details, because it would be fun to practice, and it'd probably take my first loss. There's a lot of good people over there. So the one other one I'll show you all, because it's middle 70s, but I think it's adaptive best of 3. Fantastic. I bought from Joker. Where is it? Evil Twin. Hold on, I have to scan. Here you go. Evil Twin of Tyrman the Sorcerer. Kagi's adaptive best of 3. They're in the group playoffs. Playoff for Kagi 5.0 now. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'll go check that out. With hopefully the pod coming back. I won't have a ton of time, especially because I'm playing, on Tuesdays, and then we'll see what happens with Ghost Galaxy. But so this is one of my other favorite Archon solo decks. I haven't practiced it as much because the skill ceiling is past the moon somewhere because of the number of choices you have to make. So double Forgive or Forget, right? So archive 2 cards of different types from your discard pile, purge up to 2 cards from each discard pile. 2 of those, an insane amount of choice. Mind Bullets is a brain burner because it's really the only sort of board wipe, and often your logos turns can be so logosy that you kind of have to count, okay, what number do I need this at for my things to survive and theirs to die?
Yeah.
Phase shift, think twice.
Many
Uh,
ways of playing different cards, yeah.
Mecha Buoy for the tide pressure. Zenzi, of course. Static Charge with Shoulder Id for an automatic every turn steal.
Maybe two steel, right?
No, it's just 1 steal because it's 1 instance of damage.
Oh, it's one, even though it's to its neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a ruling on that. So, because it's when
Alright.
Shoulder Id would deal damage.
Steal one instead. Alright. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I would have to put... Does it have to have creatures it would hit? I assume so. Because it wouldn't deal the damage of 30.
Because it wouldn't... Yeah, it couldn't deal damage at that point.
Yeah. So the core of it is the double Evil Twin Witch of the Dawn. You recur Evil Twin Sea Urchin, of course, because that's Steel 2. You recur Evil Twin Freebooter Fae because that is Raise the Tide on play on a creature. So that means you can Witch of the Dawn the Freebooter Fae out to take the tide, then ready and use it, which is you get a Steel 1. Yeah, it needs creatures next to it. Okay. Yeah, because the replacement does the whole thing. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Thank you. And something I love about the Shadows is all of the action cards. So double Kerwallop, double Looter Pillage. I love having the option there in case we need the powerhouse of 3 capture, even though it's not steel. Mug and Scoot. Walk the Plank is super handy. Just a ton of steel 1. Like your Shadows is like your 1-for-1 stealing in cards.
Yeah.
Blossom Drake is the artifact control, which makes for super interesting like puzzles you're doing in your head, right? Especially when you're trying to Witch of the Dawn it. Mooklings get huge because people don't kill them. Right?
Yeah, they're just
it's not easy.
presence.
Yep. Evil Twin Mookling, then it gets huge.
Evil Witch of the Dawn.
Yep. Oh, so what's really fun is that if you have Kangafan out, this is something I've pulled off on, a pretty significant number of games, not more than half, but Kangafan out, Reap, destroy this creature. Have Witch of the Dawn play Sea Urchin. So you play, steal 2, ready, Reap, Sea Urchin dies and goes back to the discard pile. And then half the time you have your other Witch of the Dawn, and then you do that again.
Yeah.
So it's
I think you
super
did that against
weird.
me. I think you've done that against me like 3 times.
Oh yeah.
With Kangafent. Yeah.
Yeah. It's anyways, so this deck is really fun. Really fun.
And you can also punch a fish and die with this
deck. You can punch a fish and die because you have gas pipes.
Witch of the Yeah.
And Evil Witch of the Dawn.
And you can even have a fish punch for you with Flame Going Forcer.
Yes. Also another Maverick. Action with action steal 1. It just gets enraged if your opponent's rage sways the tide. So a solid Maverick. A 6-power body is nice to have. Action steal 1 is good.
Yeah.
And enrage after tide raise is not that big. Not that big of a downside. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially on 6 power especially in this Untamed, it's pretty great.
Yeah, because the base one's just capture 3, which more Ember control,
right.
but it's
That's right. But got this off of Joker for I offered $80 and he didn't fight it. Just offered said yep, and I was like, I think that's a steal, especially if this game. If KeyForge gets big and I get good at this deck, like this deck would be worth more than $80, if demand actually went up for KeyForge. Not that KeyForge is at all ever going to be an investment. It's just fun to think about. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think I gotta go though.
Yep. Same.
It's getting late.
Same. It is indeed. It is indeed. I have even been disconnected from the game server on TCO.
Oh man.
I was away that long. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be around next Tuesday, and I hadn't told Hyper this yet, but the following Tuesday is my wife Megan's birthday. So we may find a different night of the week if we're able for that, but it'll be on all the regular channels if we do.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by. Good night.
Good night.
You're over 300 miles away. That's over 300 miles.